Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can we please all stand as the procession enters the hall?
Ladies and gentlemen, by the virtue of the powers vested in me as the Vice Chancellor and Principal, I hereby declare that this congregation of the Vaal University of Technology is duly constituted for the diplomas and degrees to be conferred to those students whose names appear on the program. Let's remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, as a congregation, we are invited to observe a moment in prayer. May we stand up and observe a moment in prayer. Let us pray. Dear Almighty, the Omniscient One, we come before you with all humility to serve you and your people. Please guide us in everything that we say and do. Bless each and every one of us and bless our institution. Inspire us to strive for that which is good and not to be self-seeking or to serve our own interests, but let everything be done to your glory. Use us as your vessels of honor so that the fruit of our labor may endure for peace and goodwill towards all mankind. We ask this in your name. Amen. We may be seated. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Vaal University of Technology at the Fadable Park campus. Acting Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to welcome you as a congregation gathered here today to witness and celebrate the achievements of our students at VUT on this momentous occasion. A special word of welcome goes to our distinguished guests, members of staff, families, and friends. To all diplomats and graduates, welcome to this long-awaited day. May it be everything that we hoped for. Vice Chancellor, allow me to read the biography of our distinguished guest, who will speak to us after the introduction. I'd like to introduce Ms. Matsietsi Mekoa, the Executive Chairperson of Prima Logistics. Ms. Matsietsi Mekoa is the Executive Chairperson of Prima, which is a logistics company she co-founded with her husband, Tsepo Mekoa, in 2005. Drawing from her extensive experience in corporate management and having led numerous initiatives to drive compliance, transparency, and integrity, she is currently leading Prima's Executive Committee, or EXCO, to finalize the company's corporate strategy that will be launched in November 2025 as part of the company's 20 years celebration. She assumed the role of Executive Chairperson of Prima in July 2025 at the conclusion of her tenure as the Deputy Director General, popularly known as the DDG, for corporate management in the Office of the Presidency. There, she led a number of initiatives, such as the National Micro-Organization of Government process, which was sanctioned by President Ramaphosa as part of realigning government priorities with the objectives of the new administration. She also led the coordination of the implementation of the referrals by the Special Investigating Unit and Zondo Commission's recommendations, just to name a few. Prior to joining the presidency in September 2018, she served as the acting chief executive officer for South African Express Airways, where she developed and executed a turnaround strategy for the airline. But prior to taking the helm at South African Express Airways, she was the Deputy Director General in the now reconstituted Department of Public Enterprises, which was known as the DPE, where she was responsible for legal, governance, and risk. She also acted as the Director General for the same department between 2014 and 2015. She is a qualified attorney by training, and she has also worked for the Development Bank of South Africa. She is a non-executive member of the Institute of Directors of South Africa, and she served on the King 4 Committee, where she contributed to the chapter on state-owned companies' corporate governance. Her board experience includes being a non-executive director at Lechabile Investment Holdings and Awis Private Limited. Then qualifications-wise, she holds a BProc and LLB from the University of KwaZulu-Natal, which is the former Durban Westville. And she had a practical business management certificate from the Association of Law Society. Additionally, she holds an executive leadership certificate from Harvard University and another one from the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. Ms. Mekoa is not alone. She came here in the company of her aunt, Ms. Mpolokheng Tele. We acknowledge you. And she has 3 members of her team at Brima Logistics, Mr. Nhlanhla Piga, who works in marketing, Mr. Abednego Maboda, who works in the creatives department, and Ms. Linda Kuhle Dlamini, who is her assistant. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Matsietsi Mekoa.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Please keep your thoughts to that bio that the prof has just read. There's a story behind it. But let me first start by acknowledging the people that I have been requested to acknowledge. And starting first with the chairperson of the council, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ndlovu, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Kanakana Katumba, Executive Dean, Professor Mafini, all respective faculty heads of departments, the professors, members and representatives of various departments of the university, graduates of class of 2025, and their accompanying family members. As already indicated, I'm also accompanied by a family member. So be careful, don't throw any stone at me. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, all protocol is observed. We protect ourselves by saying that because we don't want to miss anybody else that should have been acknowledged. It is indeed a great honor for me and a precious moment to be delivering this address to this class of the graduation ceremony. Now, I want to start by saying to you, some people are born poor, but some have poverty thrust upon them. To give you context to this phrase, allow me to narrate you a little story. In 1953, an educated black man who was full of promise, full of potential, applied to enroll into a school for priesthood. He had taken this decision in protest to the then ruling party of the Bantu education system then. And this was a decision to resign from a promising career as a teacher, because he was not willing to be part of what he felt then was a violation of Africa's intelligence by providing an education to his people that, in his opinion, he believed was inferior and would have harmed them instead of building them up. So, looking for a new opportunity to do something different, but he believed that he had potential still. So he looked to the one profession that he thought would be free from government interference, free from government control, and free from corruption of the day. So what was his decision? To become a priest. So he had hoped. But soon he felt something. He felt a bitter embrace of what many hopeful young men and young women who strive to make a better life for themselves get to experience on a daily basis. That bitter embrace is rejection. The College of Priesthood decided that they are going to reject his application. Now, you may wonder, he was a promising young man, he was a teacher, why would the College of Priesthood do this? You know the reason? He was a highly indebted individual. If he was a country, we would be saying his HIPIC status is high. He was in debt. So the college said, you owe too much. So imagine that. You are being denied access to further your education because you owed money. Something that I think many people can relate to, right? Money that you had to borrow to make sure that you educate yourself further in an institution that had nothing to do with the school that you're applying for. So he owed money because to get his teacher's degree, he had to borrow money to further his studies. Now he wants to be a priest. He's told, no, you owe money. We can't allow you into the college. Therefore, on top of being poor, that moment of rejection, that's where poverty was being thrust upon him. This incident was a defining moment to this young man. His options were either to succumb to that rejection, accept that rejection, and turn back to the life of teaching, something that he had left behind, or stare rejection right in the face, call it out for a challenge, and fight. The young man chose wisely. He chose to fight. He chose to fight for the life that he hoped for and that he wanted. The following year, he applied again. Now, in life, there's always, not maybe all the time, but there will be some good Samaritans. So he applied again. And by the grace of God that he wanted so much to serve, a rich philanthropist by the name of Harry Oppenheimer offered to pay all his debts so that the school can no longer have a reason or an excuse not to accept him or to reject him further. So taking full advantage of this grace and opportunity, the young man went on to study priesthood and became the most awarded, the most recognized, and the most beloved priest the world and South Africa has ever produced. I will forgive you if you think I'm telling a story or a fairy tale, just a make-up story. No, this is not a make-up story. This is a story of a young man who understood that life has moments that are so powerful, so impactful, that those moments can change one's life for the best or for the worst. Those moments, graduates, I call them inflection points, and they are going to be the theme of my conversation with you this afternoon. The young man who proficiently handled this inflection point that I'm speaking about is other than the great Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. Imagine a school of priests that rejected one of the 21st century most iconic priests, who went on to be awarded a Nobel Peace Prize in 1984. So, if you want to read more about him, there's so many stories. His life has been celebrated in many ways. So if you want to read further and educate yourself on this young man, you can go and read The Rebel Rouser for Peace, written by John Allen, amongst others. Now, to the graduates and to the university management and the professors, esteemed guests, it is not lost on me that I stand here before you today in this hall that is named after this great icon whose story I've just narrated. So, I'm standing in front of you, a woman who's twice humbled. I'm first humbled by the legacy left behind by Archbishop Desmond Tutu that has given me a literal platform today to render my first graduation ceremony speech. Though I have made many public speaking engagements, I have been in many platforms, domestically here at home, in the continent, around the world. This is, to me, the first platform where I stand in total awareness of what it means to serve. To serve not from the platform of perfection or greatness, but from a platform held by a life of service and sacrifice. Secondly, I'm humbled by the fact that people who are on the verge of doing great things in life and great things for this country are sitting right here in this hall. You are listening to words of encouragement that we are about to share. And for that, I thank you, the graduating class of 2025, as well as the management of the university. When my husband and I started BRIMA 20 years ago in 2025, for those who don't know, BRIMA stands for Brian and Mazietsi. So we combined our first names to form this company. Actually, as we were working, I got to meet one of the colleagues that I was with in the university. He remembered the face and he remembered that my husband and I, we were in the same university. And I was telling him, room 152P block, that's where BRIMA was born. The idea of BRIMA was born. So when we started this company 20 years ago, we did so with nothing but a dream, a truck, and our all life savings invested into a gut feeling that this might actually work. We had no idea then that establishing BRIMA was the beginning of a story that will put food on hundreds of tables. A story that will touch lives of thousands who are served by the BRIMA brand, and remarkably inspire millions who dare to believe that they too can build a legacy. We started Brima with one truck. We call it the old lady. She has since retired. She do few trips there and then, but those trips must be sanctioned by the CEO. So when we have a lot of loads, cargo that needs to be moved, and her siblings and her children are not able to carry the load, we ask permission from the CEO if the old lady can be allowed to go and help her children and her siblings to move. We started with her using our garage as a warehouse. My husband as the delivery truck driver, and myself as the cheerleading administrator. What would happen is that my husband would deliver packages during the day while I was at work. And in the evenings, we will huddle together to push paperwork. So that happened so that we can get this company going, this dream. Over time, we roped in our son, who was then in grade 7. We said to him, you're going to be doing invoicing. And he was doing this as part of his chores. So you can imagine the grade 7 people, most of the time, what they do is that they want to watch cartoons after doing their homework. They wanted to read comics books. They wanted to indulge in other things. This grade 7 did not have the luxury of doing a lot of those. He was learning about Weibull's and volumetrics. Starting something of your own and giving yourself fully to it has many rewards. And one of such rewards is that you learn the mysteries of life that you will never have learned at school. As graduates ourselves, my husband and I started our careers as interns, and something I'm very passionate about, because I believe that when you start, you need to be given an opportunity to make a lot of mistakes. So we started as interns, and we slowly worked our way up through the different levels and different ranks. But somehow, we knew that there was more we could do with the blessing of education we possess. So when this man made the call to resign and become an entrepreneur, I supported him. We knew this was an opportunity for us to combine what we learned at school with the skills and experience we had now accumulated in the workspace, so that we can create something of value. As you will attest, graduates, at schools you mostly learn theory, you learn how to do things, you learn about things. But in life, the life that you are about to embark on now, you're going to confront reality. This is the wisdom that my husband and I gained in our journey of entrepreneurship. For us, it was not easy, but we knew that those theories that we had picked up in undergraduate studies and as when we developed ourselves further, they were going to stand us good. We wanted to experience a deeper and a more meaningful life by putting into practice the many valuable skills that we had accumulated along the way as developing professionals. As I speak to you today, our dream has grown into a nationwide logistics unicorn that is growing bigger than us. It is now a contributor to our GDP. It has a defensible market share, and is the inspiration to many other people who interact with this brand on a daily basis. Brima is growing to play in the big leagues. Every single day, my husband and I, we watch in awe of the sheer scale of how lucky we are that we were the chosen custodians to bring reality to this unicorn that Brima is today. Now, there's nothing special, I can tell you, or mystical about me or about my husband. There's nothing that gave us a unique advantage over everybody else that sat with us on our graduation day, those many years ago. Matsietsi and Tshepo are as human as you are, and we're not better endowed with money than you are. We were once students sitting exactly where you are sitting. In fact, if anyone knows failure very well, it is my husband and I. Allow me, graduates, parents, honorable guests, let me share with you some of the most profound moments of failure that I personally have encountered. As that profile was being read, you will think it has been easy and it was smooth sailing all along. But I'm going to share with you my inflection point. And I'm sharing it with a hope that someday during this journey, you will have an opportunity to interact with my husband as well, Tsepo Mekwa. But since I'm the one standing here, I will share my insight with a hope that I inspire some of you with a simple truth. And this truth is that failure does not make a man or a woman in my case. You see, my Rakhadis here will tell you, I have been a top A student all through my schooling days. Always, all times excelling and achieving on top of my class. The teachers always had me pegged as the student that would be most likely to succeed in life. Well, yeah, they were not wrong. But the interesting twist in my story is that imagine waking up one morning, the morning of the announcement of the matric result, to find that despite having been a top performing student through your schooling days, your name does not appear on the newspaper with that hysteric sign signaling a distinction. Imagine that. Through your whole life, you've been number one, number two, number one, number two in the class. There were even other people, they always say, "Aye, we know number one kia high." But on that fateful morning, my name, Maziezi Alina Taele. Colleagues from Brima, you don't repeat the second name to anybody else in the office. That name was not in the newspaper. Now, remember again, those days, newspapers were not delivered in most of this township. So my father had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive to town in Brits to go and get a copy. Now, you can fathom the disappointment during the trip back when he had to come home. And his dilemma of how he was going to deliver the heartbreaking news that I didn't make it. By then, my entire township, my teachers, members of the church congregation, society, Mama, and everything else, they were looking for me in the paper, hoping that I would have scooped a couple of distinctions. But no, I had not made it. Now, the first thing everybody was like, no, there must be a mistake here. Something went wrong. Some of my teachers wanted to go for a remark of my exams. But unfortunately, it was not an error or an omission. My name simply did not appear on the newspaper because I had not made it. I had failed matric. Not only was I devastated, distraught, but I was also humiliated. You can imagine also, you were going, that morning you go to school to go and get the printouts. I spent months in tears, suffering from shame and serious fear of missing out, which you young people call it FOMO. I watched with envy as I see my friends and peers embark on their university journeys that I was gearing myself up for. That moment to me, graduates, was a defining inflection point. Like the inflection point of the young Desmond Tutu, I had to decide whether I was going to let that moment define the rest of my life, or I was going to dust myself off, face this challenge head on, and try again. Again, like Desmond Tutu, I chose wisely. I tried again. Dusted my old books, my old uniform, with all the humiliation of being called Kotlas in Standard 11, I went back to school. It was not easy, but I did it. And as the cliche goes, the rest is history. I wish that I could say to you that was my last encounter with failure. let me take you to my professional life. As my career was advancing, I have been overlooked for some of the more senior positions that I applied for in various departments, in various organizations, despite being adequately qualified, despite being experienced, and even in certain circumstances where I have acted in some of those positions for years or prolonged period of time. And actually, it used to be a joke. In some of the departments, they used to say to me, you are like an actor who's good at acting but has never won an Oscar. Because I never got to those positions, even if I applied for them. I got to realize something as well, that through my career, as an executive in some of these positions, I encountered rebuke for my stance on integrity. Because I would not allow myself to be meddled into corrupt or unethical practices. And for that, I want to tell you that I did suffer heavily. If you are interested, here is another second read for you. You can go and watch a record of my testimony at the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into the allegations of state capture. There you'll see I provide a full detail of my encounters and my experiences. So what am I saying to you, graduates? You may succeed in life, but if you do so outside the parameters and the bounds of integrity, then you will be a successful failure. If I can leave you with anything of value today, is these two thoughts. The first is that integrity, as you know, is the ability to do good. To do good even nobody is looking or nobody is commending you, but you do good. Never compromise your integrity. Secondly, understand that in life, bad things do happen to good people, but you must continue doing good. It is better to fail with your integrity intact than to succeed with a troubled conscience. So you see, I've never achieved the level of success that I aspired for in the workplace. But today, I'm an executive chairperson of a company I co-founded with the very same principles of integrity that got me a lot of rebuke and rejection. It took my husband and I 14 years to launch this business. So we used to call it, a startup, because we were saying it's a startup company, but we kept on saying, but when is it gonna stop being a startup? So after 14 years, we thought, no, we think it's good enough now that we can launch it as a business. And my husband went as far as writing, because he's a serial entrepreneur. He went on to write the first book, which is called The 14-Year Startup, to which I was privileged to provide the foreword. This is so because we made it our personal mission wholeheartedly to ensure that Brima will grow on sound principles of ethics and integrity. So why am I telling you this? Why am I sharing with you these principles? It's because this afternoon, as you step out of this Desmond Tutu Great Hall, you will be graduates. You will be enticed with lots of wonderful opportunities, some of which may not always be authentic or clean, especially when you consider where we are as a country in terms of unemployment. So you are going to join a queue, and in that queue, you're going to be forced to fight. And it's going to be how you fight, how clean you fight, whether you fight with integrity, whether you fight with your morality and your values intact, or are you going, you're going to say, I'm in this queue and it's dog eat dog, I'm going to compromise my principles and my values so that I can get that job. So, I want you to ask yourself this question each time you are faced with a situation that is going to present a moral dilemma against your integrity. When you are a lady, you are asked to take off that skirt to get a position. When you are a guy, you are asked to pocket something for you to do something. Ask yourself this question. Is this opportunity that I'm being offered worthy of the name and the honor of the hall that I graduated from. So as I close this message, I want to leave you with this. Just like the young Archbishop Desmond Tutu, myself, as well as other great men and women who have had encounters with inflection points in their lives, you too are going to face them. Inflection points are those moments where the curve of your life changes indefinitely. Whether that is for good or for worse, that will entirely be determined by what you do at that moment of the inflection point. Stephen Bartlett, in his book, The Diary of a CEO, he talks about what he calls the professional earthquake. And he defines this professional earthquake as an unpredictable career event that will adversely impact you. So I equate this definition of professional earthquake with the concept of inflection point, because as Stephen says, when you read further in the book, he talks about the buckets that we accumulate. So you're going to accumulate a bucket of money, you're going to accumulate a bucket of professionalism, you're going to accumulate a bucket of being a professor, a businessman, a businesswoman. And he says, as you accumulate these buckets, there are two buckets that the professional earthquake, meaning there are two buckets that inflection point should not touch. He says, you must never allow those two buckets to be empty. The professional earthquake can take everything from you, but it cannot take away. It can take away from you your network. You know, you think you are connected, it can take that away. It can take away your resources. It can even impact your reputation, but it can never remove your knowledge, and it can never unlearn your skills. Those are the tools that now you need. When you leave this hall, you need to go and use those tools to fight your inflection points. You sit today at an inflection point of your lives. This graduation is a triumph that is worthy of all the pomp and the ceremony. When we were working here, they were singing, ululating. So this graduation ceremony is worth all of that, because it is an inflection point that will change your life profoundly in so many ways. But I don't want to lie to you as well. It may challenge your life in many adverse ways. The inflection point of triumph is the one that you must be most mindful of and keep your eye on. So I've spoken to you about those two inflection points: rejection, as I demonstrated with Desmond Tutu; second, failure, as I also demonstrated with my own personal experiences. So I close off with the last type of inflection point you will encounter, and that is that inflection point of triumph. As soon as the euphoria of this graduation wanes off, there will be challenges. You'll be faced with stark realities of life. Never let the challenges that follow the euphoria make you think that this moment is of no value. It breaks my heart all the time I hear graduates, they speak and opine about the fact that their education has offered no value, they are giving up, and that their parents' sacrifices has not yielded any return on investment. That is untrue, graduates. This graduation is not a zero-value ceremony. The amount of effort you have put in, the amount of resources your parents have put in, the amount of effort and belief that your educators has put in cannot be for a zero value. To the parents, this is the point when the graduates are going to need you the most. This is where you step up with words of encouragement, self-belief, confidence building, when the current state of the economy will make our graduates feel worthless. Graduates, like my husband and I, become wise to take the theories you've learned in your time at this great institution and combine them with the truths and realities that you are going to face in life. If you learn that, I want you to believe that you too can create something of value for yourself, your families, your communities, and most importantly for our nation. The young leaders of Rwanda, they understood the genocide to be an inflection point for their nation, where Rwanda could have easily become a failed African state. But instead, what did Rwanda do? Led by the youth, by the way. Rwanda chose to transform itself into a light of hope that it has become. Today, Rwanda stands as a shining example of a nation that innovatively navigated its inflection point successfully, writing its own positive history. Equally, South Africa is looking for young leaders such as yourselves, who will define what its next inflection point it will be. History has taught us that August 1956, the Women's March, June 1976, the Soweto Uprising, as well as April 1994, amongst others, our first democratic elections, are among others our paramount inflection points of triumph. But our country finds itself in a state of flux, where the political and global politics require its young people to preempt its next inflection point. I am hopeful that with graduates like yourselves, leveraging the inspirational stories like Brima and Desmond Tutu, you can turn today's inflection point into a story of triumph for South Africa. Program Director, as I leave and I go and take my chair, I want to say congratulations on you, graduation class of 2025. May your triumph be many and your joys be multiplied. But it will be amiss of me in the presence of my aunt if I don't say as part of my goodbye. Nkgono ke lekgolokwe, ke motho a hlaba kgoho ka lemao ha qeta bolelle morena a re bona ke hlabile. Nna ke Mokoena wa Nkopane wa Mathula Maila o Ngwathela. Ke motho a tla reng ha tla ja ho the meriti e menyane ya diotlwana. Thank you, Pastor.
Madam Vice Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates of the Faculty of Management Sciences of the Vaal University of Technology, whose names appear on the program for the receiving of diplomas and degrees.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Diploma in Cost and Management Accounting, Bogasho K. Lehodi MM. Mabasa X. Madalani N. Madiba P. Mafisa MP. Malinda T. Maluleke FL. Mashaba L. Matebula X. Mbika U. Mgambi B. Mufukeng LQE. Mukwena K. Mukwena NR. Moloi TM. Muyeng MB. Ndlovu M. Ngobo MM. Yaka G. Nkuna MD. Thank you. Thank you. Pushwani OZ. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Diploma in Financial Information Systems, Liputing S. Mahatu T. Matella G. Memani SB. Popedi SMS. Yekani UL. For the Diploma in Human Resource Management, Fantisi FM. Makuvele L. Mashele E.T. Masilo L. Mfana T. The one graduating is the staff member in the registrar's office, Muguni F. Ntodi LL. Tadinyani DI. Ladies and gentlemen, Diploma in Internal Auditing, Langa P. Maboko SL. Madi Z. Maluleke N. Mapanga SN. Maseko MO. Mashaba L. Mashava VV. Mashiho LJ. Myande S. Mukhale MG. Muremi G. Tuka L. Ramaisa A. Rasilike MB. Rasikele MB. Simila LP. Ladies and gentlemen, for the diploma in logistics, Dlamini Z. Leland TK. Kubai E. Kubai T. Matsaneng NR. Mbata NT. Mukhotle TL. Mukhabuki NG. Musia RV. Mutwening MP. Sithole B. Shabalala Z. Ladies and gentlemen, for the diploma in marketing, Baloi LP. Baloi SE. Pepe MK. Khoza JM. Lando E. Lidimu G. Makateng MD. Makura M. Makoro SAM. Malamule C. Maluleke K. N. Mashava WA. Mazibuko MG. Matebula M. Mkwanazi NA. Mohale LM. Mutukulo K. Ngonyama N. Ngubeni NLA. Ntambo TO. Ntombela NP. Nukeri BT. Nyoka PT. Zwana C. Peter N.I. Polo L.L. Numalo ZZ. Rikhotso K.A. Sobopecha T.P. Silepe M.D. Silwani E. Skwambana N.G. Smith P.T.T. Sono S.M. Tau K. Baloi M.L. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for the diploma in retail business management, Shwachayo INS. Makanya ST. Ngwenya NH. For the diploma in sports management, Mavimbela B. Mweketsi K. Mukwena T.O. Ndlovu C. Siseng T.V. Ladies and gentlemen, for the National Diploma in Human Resources Management, Munteng Z.G.
Thank you. For the Advanced Diploma in Cost and Management Accounting, Bofelo M.I. Jumba B.Q. Kubai G.V. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Leko O.E. Mapeka L.J. Mopeli R.M. Ngubo A.P. Thank you. The next graduate is a staff member. She actually works within the cleaning services. And she is graduating with the Advanced Diploma in Human Resource Management. Letlapa M.M. Thank you. Thank you. Mabasa N.A. Thank you. Mokwena M.R.D. Ntabela N.T. Thank you. Ntabela N.T. Osla G.C. Shirindi N.H. For the advanced diploma in internal auditing, Mahlare M. Thank you. Thank you. Masekomeng K.H. Thank you. Mshongo L.B. Mshongo L.B. Nguni M.M. Moholo N.M.T. Nemaunzeni P. Netwinga A.P. Ngobo N.P. For the advanced diploma in logistics, thank you. Mshelekwana A. Mtovolwa R.S. Nemsula N. Still with the Advanced Diploma in Logistics, Ntuli N.L. Thank you. Thank you. For the Advanced Diploma in Retail Business Management, Bilankulu D. Simango R.N. Sitole M.L. Next award is for the postgraduate diploma in cost and management accounting. Wait. All right, it's Marakalala TJ. The next candidate is from Business Accountant SA, and he is also graduating with the postgraduate diploma in cost and management accounting, Sekaka KB. For the postgraduate diploma in human resource management, Kehara MD. Masia SB. For the postgraduate diploma in internal auditing, Mahasha L. Mazwi S. Mona T. The next award is for the postgraduate diploma in labor relations management, Kukaza LD. For the postgraduate diploma in logistics, Mshupeki A. For the postgraduate diploma in marketing, Moungwa LM. Still with the postgraduate diploma, thank you, in marketing, Radzela L. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to listen very carefully. The next award is for the Master of Management degree in Supply Chain Management. And the title of the dissertation reads as follows: Warehousing Effectiveness in the Automotive Industry in South Africa. The supervisor is Prof. Elizabeth Chinomona, and the co-supervisor was Dr. Escobuzela, and the graduating candidate is Mandla Kolani Richard. Madam Vice Chancellor, I now have the privilege to request you to confer the following doctoral degree. The qualifications name is Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration, and the title of the thesis reads as follows: The influence of service supply chain management on the robustness and performance of the freight logistics supply chain. The promoter for that particular study was Prof. C. Mafini, who is speaking. And at this moment, I'm going to request Dr. Moses Macheke, the head of Department of Logistics, to come forward and read the abstract.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. The abstract reads as follows.
the freight logistics industry continuously demands exceptional performance from firms in its sector. This prompted the current study focusing on the interaction between service supply chain management, robustness, and corporate performance in the South African freight logistics industry. This study utilized a quantitative survey methodology in which a purposive sampling technique was applied to recruit 550 supply chain operations and finance professionals drawn from freight logistics firms in selected South African provinces. Hypotheses were tested using partial least squares structural equation modeling. The study concluded that specific service supply chain management dimensions, namely information technology management, supplier relationship management, demand management, and customer relationship management, are positively associated with supply chain robustness. It further specifies that supply chain robustness is positively linked to overall corporate performance, whose dimensions are defined as supplier-oriented performance, financial performance, and customer-oriented performance. The study proposes a practical model encompassing each aspect of the research where positive associations within the hypothesis are observed, which can be applied in the freight logistics sector to improve service supply chain management and corporate performance. I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Valentine Muradzikwa. Madam Vice Chancellor, I hereby request that you confer the diplomas and degrees in absentia on those students whose names appear on the program but could not be present today.
I hereby do confer the diplomas and the graduates whose names appear on the program but could not be present at this congregation.
Madam Vice Chancellor, I thank you.
esteemed guests, distinguished guests, esteemed graduates, members of Council and Senate, our keynote speaker, Ms. Mekwa, the Executive Chairperson of Bremer Logistics, members of convocations, represented by the President or the Deputy President, Executive Deans, HODs, and faculty colleagues, families, and friends. Today we gather in the spirit of the spring, a season of renewal, to celebrate the remarkable achievement of the class of 2025. Can I hear them? This day is not only a recognition of your dedication and perseverance, but also a call to rise and play your part in shaping the future. South Africa continues to face complex challenges. Unemployment remains stubbornly high, poverty persists, inequalities continue to test our collective resolve. These realities cannot be ignored, yet they are immovable. They are waiting for innovators, leaders, and visionaries, people like you, to bring forth solutions that transform hardship into opportunities. At Vaal University of Technology, you have been equipped with more than just an academic knowledge. You gain resilience, sharpen your critical thinking skills, embraced collaboration. These are the tools that empower you to create employment, to build enterprises, to lead with integrity, and to contribute meaningfully to the society. As we approach VUT Diamond Jubilee in June 2026, celebrating 16 years of academic excellence and innovation, you carry forward a proud legacy. The Road to 60 campaign is not just about commemorating our past. It is about chanting a bold path into future. You, our graduates, will be a living testament of this legacy. Your contribution in industry, research, and community development will give sustenance to the promise of the next 60 years. This season reminds us that every ending is also a new beginning. Like spring itself, your journey is a renewal of dream, of purpose, of hope. The knowledge that you have gained is not a finished story, but a mere start. It's a seed, and the seeds demand to be planted, nurtured, and be allowed to bloom into something greater than themselves. Graduates, you step into the world transformed by technology, globalization, and shifting social realities. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industry, climate change is redefining economies, and knowledge is no longer confined to borders. VU presents you not only for South Africa or for South African challenges, but also for the global opportunities. You are called to be innovators who can adapt, create, and lead in this interconnected world. VUT believes in the transformative power of partnerships. One shining example of our collaboration is with Standard Bank in the establishment of the Green, Hydrogen, and Alternative Energy of Excellence at the Science Park in Sebokeng. This pioneering initiative positioned VUT at the forefront of sustainable energy innovation. It is more than brick and mortar. It is a hub where research, education, and industry converge to tackle the pressing challenges of climate change while creating new economic opportunities. The center is dedicated to advancing green hydrogen and alternative energy technology through cutting-edge research, state-of-the-art facilities, and strong collaboration with industry and government. It is expected to stimulate economic growth, create jobs, and build skills for the future, ensuring that graduates and alumni can participate in shaping South Africa's energy transition. This partnership with Standard Bank demonstrate what is possible when academia and industry unite, unlocking business opportunities, nurturing entrepreneurial talent, and equipping graduates to convert ideas into sustainable ventures. Through such initiatives, VUT is helping to shape a generation that does not wait for employment, but instead build enterprises that employs others. We must also acknowledge that not all journeys to this day have been equal. Many of you persevered through financial hardships, family sacrifices, systematic barriers. Your success is therefore not just personal, but is communal. As you leave this stage, or as you leave these gates, you carry with you the responsibility to widen the cycle of opportunity, to mentor, to uplift, and to ensure that excellence is never the privilege of few, but the inheritance of all. What sets you apart as VUT graduate is not only the technical knowledge that you possess, but your ability to combine innovation with empathy, skill with resilience, and ambition with humility. You are grounded in community, forged in adversity, and equipped with the practical, hands-on approach that define this institution. This is the power of being made in VUT. Among our alumni are pioneers who have carried the VUT name into remarkable places, from entrepreneurs who build thriving business against odds, to engineers and scientists shaping industry, communities, and community leaders transforming life in townships and villages. These stories remind us that VUT graduate is not defined by circumstances, but by determination, creativity, and resilience. You now take your place in this lineage. Our legacy also shines bright in the realm of sport. Among our finest are Olympic, of Commonwealth, 800 meters champion, and the silver medalist, Bulaheni Mlauzi, and the Commonwealth hammer throw gold medalist, Chris Haramse. Their triumph on the international stage remind us that VUT is not only a home of knowledge, but also a cradle of champions. Their journey reflects discipline, perseverance, excellence, qualities we strive to instill in every graduate. This is why the revamp of our sports facility and the construction of a multi-purpose center is more than just an infrastructure project. It is an investment in the dreams of the future athletes, a space where talent will be nurtured, wellness encouraged, and holistic spirit of education lived out in full measure. Graduates, as you take your place in the world, remember that you do not walk alone. You join a vast community of VUT alumni who are innovators, leaders, trailblazers across every sector of society. Our alumni carry the story of this institution into boardrooms, laboratories, classrooms, and communities. They are living proof that a degree from VUT is not an end of the journey, but the beginning of a lifelong bond of contribution and service. We encourage you to remain connected, give back, to help shape the future of those who will come after you by mentoring, by offering internships, or by simply sharing your experiences with others young graduates. You become part of a powerful chain of knowledge, inspiration, and opportunity. Graduates, the next chapter of your life is about possibilities. As you join the alumni network and engage with partnership that VUT contributes to cultivate, you know that you are part of the greater ecosystem of collaboration and innovation. Your success will not only be measured only by what you achieved, but by the opportunity you create for others and the communities you uplift. This is the essence of a VUT spirit: to build, to shape, to leave a legacy greater than oneself. As you step beyond these gates, I challenge you to be builders of legacy. As VUT approaches 60 years, carry its story forward by writing new chapters of excellence and innovation. Be voices of courage. In a world clouded by uncertainty, speak with clarity through truth and conviction. Be stewards of possibility. Create spaces where others may grow, where communities may thrive, and where progress becomes inevitable. Do not measure your success only by what you achieve, but also in how many lives you touched, how many doors you have opened, and how many futures you have helped shape. Today, you join along a long line of VUT graduates who have carried our institution's values into the world. Tomorrow, you will be remembered not just of what you have become, but for what you enable others to become. Graduates of Spring 2025, this is your season. Step forward with energy and renewal, the proud of 60 years behind you, and the vision of brighter tomorrow ahead. Congratulations, and the world is ready for you. I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, by the virtue of the powers vested in me as the Vice Chancellor and Principal, I now dissolve the congregation of the Vaal University of Technology.